Nation, let's get it.
Yeah, I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. I'm a player, a boss player. If you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. I'm a player, a boss player. If you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters.
I'm from the city of Sac, rapping silver and black. Word of honcho, give me the strap. The realest is back. Stupid chop with something silly attached. Eye for an eye, fuck it man, give me a patch. I'm a Raider, Oakland, LA, Vegas, Jalen, Kenyon, Jacobs, Vegas. Man, bruh, dog, we litty. The shine with the speed, Edwards with the 50-50. Yeah, this that silver and black field. Abram in the box, I'm Merrick in the backfield.
Yo, shout out to the nation. Shout out to everybody in the building already rocking with me. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be right here with me at this very moment. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Also, shout out to everybody on Twitter watching the live. If you guys want to get your questions in, jump over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You know what time it is. We're in the locker room today, y'all. You already know what it is. We're going to break down this whole depth chart for Sunday. I don't know if you guys seen it already, but the Raiders have released an official depth chart. I don't know if this is the final one for Sunday, but it looks as though this is what we're working with. You know what I mean? So, and we're going to do some predictions for Sunday's game, week 1. Man, y'all, football is here, y'all. This shit is crazy. Football is officially here. Crazy. Let's go. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. I got my little brother in the building.
Yo.
What's poppin', little
goody,
brother?
nation? What's goody?
We got my brother B in the building, man. Shout out to everybody here rocking with us. Hey man, what's good? We got to break down this depth chart, man, because there was a few things that I had to kind of low key question. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Our coaching staff is phenomenal, so I'm not going to question what they're doing, but
right, there's
still a few kind of I don't want to say red flags, but some surprises low key. You know what I mean? Right. So we're gonna get to that. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up.
Yeah,
you
shout
guys
out to the nation, man. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate you guys being here, y'all.
Always. Everybody saying what's up to B in the chat, man. B is out there in Las Vegas dealing with that heat.
Hey, yeah, I was gonna say I've been inside all day. It's been hot as fuck. I'm not set up, y'all. I usually got my Raiders shit in the back, but you know, death row I figured was acceptable for now. Just touched back down to Vegas. I'm out here full time now. Bouncing back and forth from Northern California, but we here, we lit. I got love for y'all. I appreciate y'all. Looking forward to seeing you guys this season. So.
Savage, that was the first thing that I wanted to touch on was bringing back Keelan Cole. I love this shit. I am so happy that we have a starting quality wide receiver on the practice squad.
Right,
like that lets you know how deep this wide receiver room is when you can have a Keelan Cole on the practice squad.
I've said this before on the show, but I thought after Robinson got cut, I thought he was a lock. You know what I mean? For our depth chart. And to see him get cut was a surprise for me. But the fact that we brought him back is like, that's a win, bro. That's a major.
I guess the reason why we let him go was to see if any other – we wanted to bring him on a practice squad from the jump, but we gave him an opportunity as a veteran to go see if he could find a 53-man roster that he can fall on. But I guess, he visited the Niners, a few other teams, I believe, ended up back in Vegas. Beautiful signing to our practice squad. Alex Barr as well. He's back, offensive lineman that can get it done all across the line. He's a really, really good depth piece to the practice squad. The guy he's versatile as hell. He can play all up and down the offensive line. So that's a great sign that we brought him back to the practice squad. And I think we got rid of, was it Zach Van Valkenburg or whatever, however you say his crazy name? We cut him from the practice squad. I was shocked that he even made the practice squad, to be honest with you. But we here now. We here, man. So shout out to Alex Barr, man. Shout out to our wide receiver, Keelan Cole. Everybody knows that was my guy, man. So I'm very happy.
Shout out to Prezi. Shout out to my boy Halo. I seen y'all give me the shout out earlier, man. Shout out to y'all, man.
Auntie, man, let me say this, brother.
Auntie Six, what's up? What's up, boy?
Shout out to Aunt, my brother Aunt, man. I'm gonna say this.
Heavy.
They're sold on Hunter returning punts. At this point, I'm assuming that's what it is. On this official depth chart, I don't know if you really haven't seen it, I don't think, but DJ Turner.
I was looking at it.
DJ Turner is backing him up in the slot. Yep. I was assuming that DJ Turner will be out here returning punts, but right now
it looks like kick returner. It's Amir Abdullah and then Tyron Johnson backing him up.
And most kick returners, you're not even going to see a snap. You're not even going to see any. Right. These guys are kicking the ball into the end zone left and right now. You know what I mean? So
that's because a few years back they moved it up 5 yards from the 30 to the 35, and so now it's like it's almost probably 70-80% of the time you're getting a touchback nowadays. Yeah,
it's like for what?
Ultimately, that was to avoid head collisions and the NFL bringing on their safety precautions or whatever. But yeah, punting wise, obviously a lot of people get 3 and outs and or do drives and then have to punt the ball for better field possession purposes.
I'm assuming that Josh McDaniels is looking at this like a Julian Edelman, kind of situation where he wants to utilize him. You know what I mean? Right. I'm nervous. Don't get me wrong. I
like it, but I don't like it.
Hunter's hands are short thing, but you want to put your star slot.
You want somebody who's confident back there that at the end of the day, if they call the fair catch, they're going to catch the ball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so I feel like Hunter's situational awareness, like with the way that he runs routes and how he is in space, right? It's good to have somebody like that back there catching the ball.
No, definitely, man. But it's just nerve-wracking because you got a star out there returning punts. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, 100%. If he goes down, man, God forbid, DJ Turner's our starting slot guy, and he's a second-year guy, an undrafted dude that had to work his tail off.
People forget this though. Like Tim Brown used to return. I believe it was kickoffs and punts, right?
Yes, but he was, that was a different.
It was a different era, but I'm just saying, like he was our star wide receiver returning kicks and.
But look at Timmy's frame compared to Hunter Renfro's frame. Timmy used to wear them big pads too. He looked way bigger than what he used to be, what he really was out there. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying, but like this man is, Hunter, man, he literally looked like he worked at like a kids gymnastics spot or some shit.
No, he does. Mad facts. Like I can't lie to that.
But hey, we here. It is what it is. Shout to Aunt one more time, man. My brother, man. Appreciate you, King.
Hey, to one up. He said, remember that fake punt last year and Hunter was on it? Yep. Bro, that was like the one highlight that I do remember of him.
That was our best defensive highlight of the year.
That was last year against the Chargers when we were 3-0 and they were 3-0. I remember because I was there in person in LA.
Yeah.
And bro, that was a clutch fucking.
Hey, What have I been saying, bro, this whole offseason, right? Klee was out with an injury, wasn't really out there at training camp. And guess what happens? He's second behind Chandler Jones with that edge spot. And Malcolm Kuntz is third. And I said, I feel like Patrick Graham has a plan for Cleveland Ferrell. The guy, he's going to utilize him all up and down the defensive line. You know what I'm saying? He can, in a 3-4, he whatever 4-3, he could play all over the place as an edge rusher, outside linebacker, DT. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he plays the run really well. People tend to forget that Patrick Graham loves guys that can play the run. And Malcolm Kuntz cannot play the run, you guys. He's an edge rusher. He can get to
it's going to be interesting to see our defensive line rotation, you know what I mean, and see, depending on where we're at, you know what I mean, third down situations versus, second and maybe running situations, and like to see who's going to be coming in and going out, you know what I mean, on rotation on the line, you know what I mean.
Shout out to Andrew. He said, "Love when B is on the show. Never no BS. Always straight Raider talk."
Hey, I appreciate you, Andrew, man. Thank you.
I'm gonna send my brother that $5 too, Andrew. Shout out to everybody here in the building. Let's bring this up. Let's bring the depth chart up. I'm gonna share it on the screen.
Let's do it.
We'll take a look at it real quick before we get to chopping this fable about Sunday's game. So let's see. Shout out to everybody. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. Also, man, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, man. We're almost to 17K. I would love to get to 25K by season's up. You know what I mean? Hopefully 30. That would be great. Hit that sub button, man.
Hit that sub. Don't even think about it. Just hit it. Don't think about it. Just hit it.
Factory. All right, here we go. All right. No surprises here. Devontae, wide receiver 1. Mac Hollins going to be wide receiver 2. Tyron Johnson, wide receiver 3.
This is at the number 1 spot, though.
Yes.
Not at the number 2 spot. So let's keep that in mind.
No. Yeah, but I just mean, Devontae's wide receiver 1. Matt Collins is going to be the other guy on the outside. And then, Tyron Johnson is going to be that speed demon playing wide receiver 3 pretty much. But we all know.
So essentially, Matt Collins is playing number 2?
Yes.
Or is Matt Collins playing number 2 behind Devontae at number 1?
Collins is playing number 2 because
Gotcha.
the way they set it up, Renfro's in the slot. They set it up where Collins is back is wide receiver 2.
Okay, got you. So he's certified number 2.
Yes. Matt Collins at this point.
To clarify that for myself and everybody else on in the chat.
Yeah. If we run if this depth chart, if this is what we run with you guys, Matt Collins is wide receiver 2, and Tyron Johnson is wide receiver 3. We already know we know we have Waller. We know we have Hunter Renfrow. We know technically they're 2 and 3, right? But we're just going off of
exactly.
We're just going off of what the depth chart says right now. Shout out to Reaper. I'm gonna read this in 1 second, my brother. Colton Miller, left tackle. That's clear as day. Jackson Barton backing him up. I'm okay with that because I think Colton Miller is durable as all get up. I know he dealt with some injuries early on in his career, but he's been really good up to this point.
At this point, he's our most solid piece on the offensive line, hands down.
This was a little shocking to me, man, because they went with technically the veteran now. I mean, what is this? His 3rd year, John Simpson, third year.
No, I hear you on this.
He beat out.
I wanted Parham, but
yeah.
At the end of the day, we're not the coaching staff. We're not seeing these guys every day in training camp. But I was thinking that Parham was a lock at the left guard position, 100%.
And look how thin we are with we really went with 8 going into Sunday because there's no one backing up Andre James, which we have some guys on the practice squad that can. Lester Cotton at right guard. We all assumed he was going to.
That Parham. If
Parham can play left guard and right guard, and
I was going to say, I'm just saying, if James, God forbid, if James were to go down, Parham could probably get in there.
Parham can play all 3 of those spots: left guard, center, and right guard. So either way, that works. But just to go in with 8 is still a little alarming to me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think we were talking about this on another live before, where we wanted, I believe it was 9 offensive linemen and 3 tight ends is what we were initially talking about with me, you, and Wasted, I believe.
Castro, this is facts. We definitely can bring up some players on game day off the practice squad. You are correct, my brother. Right here, we got Jermaine Aluminor. He won the right tackle spot. I think Mumford was already behind the curve because he missed some time in training camp due to an injury. So the writing's on the wall. Jermaine Aluminor was a starting right tackle in New England for Josh and them before. I think they're going with who they're comfortable with. I'm cool with the right side as at this moment with Lester Cotton and Jermaine Aluminor.
To me, it's like the left guard, right guard, and right tackle positions are most suspect positions on the offense, period.
There you go. Also, we got Darren Wilder. We already know, phenomenal top tight end in the league, top 3 guy. Foster and Jesper, I love it. The young guy, man, Horsted made the top, the 53-man roster, and he's our 3rd tight end. He can be a nice receiving option for us as well this season. Hunter manning up the slot spot with DJ Turner backing him up. I love it. And we know DC QB. Stidham is our backup. We knew that. The running back room was a little crazy with me too, though. I know. Zamir,
I didn't think that Zamir would be like 4th on the list. I thought he would be like at least 3rd, if not 3rd.
Bro, he's behind Brandon Bolden, which is Josh McDaniel's guy. I get it. The veteran.
Bolden, I look at him as a situational back where it's like a 3rd and short situation or a goal line situation where you just need to get a couple yards to get a touchdown or get a first down.
Yeah.
So that's what's surprising. I mean, obviously he knows the system, but it was just a little surprising to me that essentially he's number 2 back. But
you know what? I think they went
at
with
his age.
We know Josh was going to be the number 1 guy. Brandon Bolden knows this system more than anybody on this entire roster. I get it. He's running back too.
This is the question: is he a good back when it comes to blocking?
Yes, bro. Brandon Bolden can get it all. I mean, he's not a Jalen Richard. You know what I'm saying? Like Richard was, to me, he's like my favorite blocking running back that we've had in many moons. But I mean, Bolden can get it done. He can get it done. Amir Abdullah I love that he made this roster because He can serve as a running back. He can serve as a wide receiver. He's going to return kicks. The guy can do it all. I was just still shocked that he was in front of Zamir. I love to see Britton Brown's name there. I knew that he probably wouldn't get too much burn in year one, but to see Zamir behind Amir, that's a little telling to me. But Zamir, at the end of the day, you guys, is going to still get his burn. This is a running back.
At the end of the day, like if we know Josh Jacobs, if this is potentially his last year on the roster, maybe he's trying to have Zamir learn the system this year, right, and not give him too much burn so that he can be the running back of the future for the team. Yes. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if Josh is gone, we're going to need somebody to step up and be our number one guy.
Yes, and that will be
at this point with Brandon Bolden being at the age he's at. Who knows how long he's actually going to be in the league? Maybe he's in the league this year, maybe not next year. I mean, we don't know at this point.
Yeah, I think he's one and done with us. You know what I mean? To be honest,
it could be very much so. Could
next year you got a three-headed monster with Zeus. He'll be in year two. He'll be ready to go. We'll have Sincere McCormick coming off the IR, which is one of my favorite running backs in this last draft. UDFA, and then Britton Brown. So I think we're going young at that position, but
it's a young man's game. Like running back and cornerback, in my opinion, are a young man's game in generally speaking.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We know this is a running back by committee system, so all these guys are going to get burnt.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels has always been like that. That's one thing. You know, I mean, they had what? They had Rex Burkhead.
He's going to keep him fresh.
They had Rex Burkhead. They had Bolden. They had who else did they have over there?
Sonny Michel.
That's what I'm saying. He's always been like
Rondell Stevenson. It was Rondell Stevenson, I believe. They had a bunch of guys, but right. I love what we got at the running back position. Like, this is exciting. Jacob Johnson at fullback. That's going to be our blocking guy. This guy, to me, is the best blocking fullback in the league. Jacob Johnson is going to hold it down for DC.
The only thing I get worried about with that is, like, if we're running spread offense, or and you're bringing him in and you just bring him in just to block, it's almost like you're letting the defense know, that you're passing at that point. So it's like you have to kind of mix it and match it up, in regards to, if you bring him in and you're in shotgun formation and it's maybe a second and short or third and short situation, hand him off on the ball, hand him the ball off on a draw and have him get a first down so that defenses are not, are not on point with what we're doing offensively. You know what I mean?
Well, you know that Josh is he's a guru, man. With the
no, I know. I'm just thinking. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking.
Get these supers in real quick before we break this defense down. Shout out to Raider Reaper, my dog. Who else is ready to mollywop the chokers? I know I am. 34-17. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than that, brother. I think that they're coming out for revenge for week 17 last year, and I think it's gonna be a close game. Maybe even 1-point game, 3-point game. It's going to be a one-score game. That's how I call it. You know what I mean? I haven't come up with a score yet, and I'll break that down at the end of the video. But I think it's going to be a one-score game.
Well, that is a one-score game. Technically, he's saying we're going to win by 7 right there. You know what I mean?
He said 34-17, bro.
Oh, 34. Oh, yeah. It wasn't 27. I was tripping.
Yeah, this motherfucker can't. Yeah, I hear you.
Can't even count.
Shout out to Aunt, man. 355 in here. Only wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them
thumbs up.
Yeah, shout out to Raider Travis, shout out to Primos, shout out to Jimmy, man. Skills all day. I see all my guys in the building. Derek Vehicle, everybody rocking. Let's break this defense down. This is where, like I said, it gets a little shocking right here. You got Chandler, you got Clee backing up Chandler Jones. You got Malcolm Kuntz as your third edge rusher. And like I said before, you guys, this is because the versatility that Clee brings to the table. You know what I mean? And he's way, way better against the run than Malcolm.
You know what's surprising is Hankins backing up Billings.
Oh, no. That's something we're going to talk about. Yeah.
That's concerning to me.
I think, you know why? At his age, you only want him to play maybe half the downs. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy can't stay healthy for nothing, bro.
On run situations where you know that they're gonna run the ball, so you're gonna load up the deep, the defensive line in order to stuff the run, right? Essentially, right?
Yeah, but these guys have been really high on Andrew Billings all off season. Like we know.
I mean, but you would think at least Hankins would go above Bilal or whatever, and Bilal Nichols or whatever, No,
because Bilal Nichols is someone that he's going to start off the dribble. We signed him to a 2-year deal. He's young. He can get to the quarterback. He does a lot more.
I'm just surprised to not see Hankins starting in one of those two positions. That's all I'm saying.
Well, in different schemes, we may see Hank out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends. But however Patrick Graham draws up these defenses, if we run a 3-4 against Kansas City or we run a 4-3 against the Chargers, it's going to be different dial-ups. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Like, it's going to be so much different shit going on that, look, right now, that's why I'm not really going to jump the gun with the whole Andrew Billings over Hankins and Neil Farrell Jr.
Go ahead.
Because I'm not gonna jump the gun. Like that was kind of telling to me, but it's not that shocking because these guys have been building this guy up all offseason. The preseason, Andrew Billings was great against the run. They took him out. I think the Minnesota Vikings gashed us. They pretty much did whatever they wanted to on the run game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it showed how much Andrew Billings, played the run well for us. I think they believe in the young guy. I think he's only 26, 27. He's been in the league for like 6 years. I know he's kind of been, practice squad kind of guy, but hey, they believe in him. If Patrick Graham believes in him, I'm here for it. Right. But I think Bilal Nichols is going to be a guy. Like Bilal Nichols, bro, is going to be a dog. He's going to be a dude that's going to definitely help Max and Chandler on that edge. He's definitely going to be a guy that can do it. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, at the end of the day, it is a passing league, and I know I've mentioned this before on past lives. I think the fact that we have Jones and Crosby on the outside is going to help the inside people because at the end of the day, how I look at it, you have to double one of the two of them on every play. Yes. And if you're not doubling them, then you need to at least chip them with a tight end or chip them with a running back if you're passing the ball. You know what I'm saying? Kind of going back to what you were saying about Malcolm Kuntz, I don't look at that as as alarming. I feel like he has a lot of versatility. I feel like he'll get thrown in with some of those, maybe race car packages, as
NASCAR
or NASCAR packages. As we stated it, in the past.
Who right now, bro? If we're throwing that NASCAR out there, right? Who are your guys? It's got to be Clee, Max, Chandler, and Malcolm Kuntz, right?
Right. Or maybe have one guy, maybe have one defensive tackle on, in the middle, but yeah, it'd be Jones, Max. I mean, you could, technically, because you can throw Clee in the middle. So yeah, you would throw Clee maybe in the middle. Yeah. Kuntz, Clee, Jones, and Crosby, or maybe throw in Bauer, in there somewhere, you know what I mean, every once in a while, but just to kind of mix shit in. But I think that's still gonna. It's still going to get some burn, bro.
Definitely. Shout out to Xavier, man. Bold prediction. Raiders 41, Chargers 20. Fire, passing. Talk that shit, X. Shout out to my dog, Rube, as well. We'll know if this defense is legit by week 5. Hopefully this interior can stop the run and push the pocket. Also need the QBs to continue to get better.
The CBs.
The factory, my brother. The
cornerbacks, brother.
That's what I said. CBs.
Oh, I thought you said QBs. I was like, he was saying.
Yeah, Brandon has been drinking tonight, you guys. So this
is my first beer.
Pay attention to hey
y'all.
Hey, B has been drinking tonight, fellas.
This motherfucker, bro.
Shout out to Rube, man. My dog, man, always supports the channel. I definitely agree with you, my guy. Shout out to Trav. He says, I'm planning to come through Saturday night to see you Graphk on the 17th. Come see us. Me and B both will be in the building, my brother. Can't wait, man. Come on.
I'm looking forward to seeing all y'all. Everybody in the chat, if you guys can make it out to Las Vegas for any one of the home games, we're looking forward to seeing you guys. Hold on. Virgin Hotels every Saturday night from 6 to 12 o'clock before every Raiders home game. Looking forward to meeting each and every one of you guys, man.
And we might be working on something as well, you guys, something else where we may be doing watch parties on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. But everything's not set in stone yet, but we may have another move. For Sundays, we're going to do watch parties for those who can't make it into an Allegiant Stadium. But yeah, Raider Rap, I'm telling you, that NASCAR crazy. I don't know, bro. Andrew Billings in on the NASCAR package. I don't see that, brother. He's a big dude. But hey,
he's probably saying just to keep one anchor on that line. You know what I mean?
You keep forgetting about Vickers too. You have Castro.
Yeah. Vickers might not be a bad rotation on that NASCAR package.
Oh, I said QB. Oh, everybody said I said QB. Okay, then
yeah, bro. That's why I said it. I wouldn't correct you.
My apologies. But Brandon B has still been drinking, so it doesn't matter. Okay?
This motherfucker, bro.
Technically, I was right. You know what I'm saying? Nah, shout out to my people, man. They got on my ass. They said, nah, bro, we ain't letting that slide. So we got Bilal Nichols, Kendall Vickers backing up Bilal Nichols, Matthew Butler. So both are rookie guys. I like it. They're third options.
I know somebody who's like high on Butler, but like I haven't been impressed with him. Obviously, this preseason.
Me neither. I mean, he showed against New England a little bit. He showed some. He had some pressure and played the run fairly well, but it just wasn't enough for me in preseason for me to get excited about him. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Max Crosby, we already know, star, and then we got Deshaun Bauer backing him up at defensive end. I like that. Outside linebacker, we know Divine Diablo is going to get it done. Second-year guy. This guy's going to get way better this year, you guys. I'm telling y'all, he's going to be that dude that can play in coverage and play against the run.
How are you feeling about Jayon Brown on the other side, though?
I love it, bro. Jayon he's not going to play the run for shit. You know what I'm saying? But in coverage, when we got to play Travis Kelce, when we got to play all these great tight ends, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be a guy that can be out there to jump on these tight ends and running backs. I think Jayon Brown is going to definitely be a guy that can ball for it.
I don't know why I feel more comfortable with Perriman in the middle and then Diablo on the outside. I don't know.
I like it.
Brown.
And then you got Denzel Perriman in the middle that is going to gobble up tackles left and right with Darian Butler behind him, and then behind Jayon Brown is another UDFA that I fell in love with this past season. Luke Masterson. He did great in preseason. We got so they lined it up like this. They just lined up. They just put two corners. Okay, so they got Nate Hobbs and Rocky.
I was gonna say Hobbs. From what it looks like, he is no longer gonna be in the slot.
No, well, he will. He will.
But I just think that now that it's kind of like now that we got rid of Mullins, it's like the writing's kind of on the wall, in my opinion, when it comes to Nate Hobbs. Like, everybody's been hyping him up in training camp and everything else. It's like, I think he's one of our starting, whether he's a number 2 or number 1, it's debatable, but outside of Yasin, but it's like, bro, I feel like he's primarily going to be on the outside now. I don't feel like he's going to be in the slot nearly as much. It's going to be
different. You played the game, bro. Dime packages and nickel packages. He's going to be inside and out. Like Hobbs, I said this the other day. I don't think he's going to be off the field at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Barring any injuries, God forbid, like he's going to be on the field a lot. So he'll start outside. He'll start in the nickel. Rocky Sin definitely is that other guy, but I think Anthony Averett's going to be another guy that's going to be on the field a lot with these.
100%. I think Averett is probably number 3 guy.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I think Amik comes in with certain packages.
Yeah, so that's what they got. They got Amik backing up Nate Hobbs. They got Sam.
Yeah, but I feel like Amik is a certified number 4 at this point, and that's debatable between him and Sam Webb. I think potentially Webb takes over that number 4 spot eventually. Like,
I mean, if you look at production in preseason, you have to say that Webb is better than him.
I'm not. Look, I know you were high on him. I know you were high on Amik, him coming out.
Yeah.
And I was too. But I don't know if it's the size or if it's when it comes to being in game and he's just not like he can't show up like during showtime. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but I'm not too high on him, bro, personally.
No. And look, as you shouldn't. No one should be high on Amik right now. I mean, let's just be real. He has
a lot to prove. He has a lot to prove. That's all I'll say.
And this is the year to do it. If he doesn't, it might be a wrap. Free safety, we got Merrick, Deron Harmon, the closer right behind him. Isaiah Paolo.
I was going to say, because I'm just looking at our safety room, right? And I like the fact that Abram is still starting at safety. Yep. Reason being is if Harmon if he deserved the spot, then he would be there, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about the best man available on the roster.
Yeah.
Now, with these heavy set packages that they've been putting Abram in, it looked like he was doing, better during the preseason. Now I know it's preseason, but at the end of the day, like, I want to see if Jonathan Abram can succeed in this system, I want to see it happen.
Oh, he will, because that's what Graham does. He takes these kind of guys, like a Jonathan Abram, throws them in a box, gets them closer to the line of scrimmage, and takes advantage of their skill set. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be playing so many different type of defenses, bro. Like, there's going to be some stuff out there where you see Harmon and Merrick a lot together out there as well. You know what I'm saying? So, look, Abram's going to be all over the place. I'm not really too worried about him just playing. I don't think that.
Well, at the end of the day, the whole nation is suspect on his coverage. But it's like if you could put
the
him
whole
in
world is suspect on this coverage.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying. But so it's like if you could put him in, on those big nickel packages and have him play to his strengths at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Then
Shout out to everybody here in the chat. We're going to get all your questions in, you guys. We're just breaking down this depth chart, and then we're going to get everybody's in. Shout out to Leo. Hobbs is going to lock on to Allen all game. I love it, my brother. Love the optimism. Love the enthusiasm. I agree with you, man. Keenan Allen is a dog. Don't get me wrong. He's not an easy guy to shut down. But I think if anybody on this roster can do it, it's Hobbs.
So are we going with Hobbs as our number one guy, or as of right now, in my opinion, I think it's just I think it's just sin at this point,
bro.
I think it's just sin.
The way they built this guy up, the way they built Nate Hobbs up, bro, like talking about playing him at safety, at nickel, on the outside, like, bro, Nate Hobbs.
Don't get me wrong, I would love that. I'm just the only thing that I'm
He's clear cut number one.
Sin, I wanted us to draft you Sin a few years back, and I know that he had a great year last year. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to have two number one corners. Like if we can have two corners that are like true number one guys, like that would be fucking great. All I'm saying is as of right now, in my from not seeing a game and not seeing any product out on the field yet, because
what if I said this, B? What if I said this? This new regime comes in, right? Their plan is we trade Yannick for Rocky Sin. That's our number one guy. We go get Anthony Averett in free agency. That's the number two guy. We don't know this young kid out of Illinois, and this is the second year. We don't really know too much about Nate Hobbs, right? We get to training camp. We see this guy's work ethic. We see his build. You can see he put on way more muscle. They say, hold on, wait, we may have something with this guy, right? So Graham sees him and he says, hold on, bro. Like, okay, like, look, this is the one. He's the guy. He's the guy. And I think I would love that. I would love that. All I'm saying is right now in my mind, until seen or proven otherwise, I feel like Yasin's number one, and then Hobbs is like a solidified number two, and or how we look at him, obviously from past performance, is he's like a number one. He's like a top five or I love Rocky Sin
slot fucking corner. Now, obviously, there's a new regime. Things are changing. If he molds into that number one, I would be fucking ecstatic.
I love Rocky Sin. I'm just saying right now, from the writing on the wall that I see, I just see Nate Hobbs being that guy. But hey, either way, as long as they both perform, they're gonna have to, because this AFC West is crazy. There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be some shootouts this year with these crazy offenses that we're gonna play.
We got our fucking work cut out for us.
Yes,
100%.
definitely. Let me get these supers in real quick. Shout out to Xavier, man. Mumford, breakout 2022, has great skill and footage. Great. Xavier, to be real with you, I think he's going to be our next. I think he's going to be our right tackle of the future. But this year, I think they're going with the veteran. It's Jermaine Aluminor. We'll see Mumford out there in spurts, but he's not going to be the guy. We'll be patient with him. He's a seventh rounder. I said this before. He would have been a first or second rounder if he would have came out in 2020 at Ohio State due to the COVID year and all that shit. But definitely agree with you. But I think they're going to be patient with him and kind of just work him and rotate him in.
He's probably going to get a lot more burn, I would think, next year.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to Vital, my brother. Abram is going to knock Herbert out of this game if he tries to throw deep. And you know what's going to happen, Vital? He's going to throw deep. So, hey, let's do it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Shout out to Vital. I hope, hey, if that happens, bro, Vital, if that happens, bro, hit me back.
I would love to see Abram going on a lot more blitzes, bro. Like I love that kind of shit, bro. Yeah. Like I love safety blitzes, bro.
Vital, I am sending you an Oaklosvegas shirt if he knocks him out. All right, facts. You guys all heard that. Shout out to the 455 people in the chat. Wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up.
Appreciate you guys being here.
Shout out to Aunt, man. Hobbs to play outside in our base defense and move the nickel and a dime and nickel packages. See, this is what we were talking about. That's exactly what I was saying, B. It's like we're gonna move him around.
You, Auntie Six.
Shout out to Aunt, man, coming through with the goat super, man. My dog. Let me see. Hobbs is hungry. He fits this defense perfectly. Pro Bowler for sure. I have him a Pro Bowler this year as well, too, Hockey Uncle. I think he's going to take that next step in the second year. And Merrick too. He said, get them Goon Docs. Big Lou checking in. Get them dotes, man. We're going to get them out the way, man. I hope Abram takes off Eckler's head. This is facts. Facts plus tax, man. Graham and Rex Ryan with the multiple looks and master of blitzes is going to be crazy. Rube, we have not shown an inkling of what we're going to do defensively yet.
No.
And I love it. I love it, bro. I definitely love it. Let me see. Eddie said, listening to Docs and B talk that Raider Nation talk with the volume turned down on the Aces versus Storm. So that's what's up, my brother. Shout out to you. Shout out to Raider Jim, man. Raiders 35, Chargers 17. I'm seeing a lot of that. DC and Tay make it look easy. Defense is pride. Well, there's a lot of rumors that J.C. Jackson may play, you guys. You know what I mean? I don't know how ready he's going to be, and I don't think they're going to force him out there in week 1. But if they do, I think it's the wrong idea.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to force your prized guy out there. You know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, they know they're about to get cooked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like let's just be real. I'm not talking about like our wide receiver room, but I'm just saying like our passing, just our passing offense, like our weapons in general, not our QB necessarily, but like we probably have a top 2 or top 3 passing like weapons in the league. Like
easy, bro. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's gonna be the Cincinnatis, the Buffaloes, you know what I'm saying, the Rams.
And don't let DC get back to 2016 form or better, because at that point it's gonna be MVP talk in the league.
Will.
Like period. I'm just saying, like, if he gets back to that form and he starts executing with the weapons that he has, we're talking MVP talk for sure. Hands down.
Hey, Armando. We moved on because of that, but also I've been saying this about him left and right. I think the coaching staff's seen the same thing I've seen. It's in his body language. He looks like he doesn't even want to play football. I don't know if you guys seen the presser, but Merrick, they asked him not Merrick, Mullen, they asked him a question in Arizona about, are you going to be ready for week 1? And he said something to the effect of, yeah, man, I might be. Yeah, I should. Like he basically just ran around the question, like not even giving a solid answer.
But is he injured?
Oh yeah, he is. But he's always fucking injured at this point now. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, but like the way he ran around the question, like I was like, Arizona, good luck with that.
Well, maybe he's not trying to disclose. Like if he has a serious injury or something, maybe he's not trying to disclose. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'll tell you this, Armando. I talked. Shout out to my boy Rio. We did a show earlier, the Raiders Commander show. Yeah. And I asked him. I said, man, I wish we would have called Washington about Daron Payne, because that's a defensive tackle that we can use. He's on the last year of his contract. Mullen's on the last year of his contract. We can kind of just, you need a corner, we need a defensive tackle. Maybe we could have thrown them Mullen and maybe like a 4th or a 5th and said, hey, see what y'all can do. I wish that we could have got something for them.
Hold on. Did Payne come from Indianapolis?
No, he was drafted to Washington.
Was he? Okay. I'm thinking about somebody else then.
Yeah, no, he was drafted there. But I wish that we would have called somebody else to do something, because a conditional 6th for Trayvon Mullen. Don't get me wrong, it's great that we got rid of him.
I was surprised.
$2.2 million. We saved like $2.2 million. Get rid of him.
I was still surprised though. I was still like, I just felt like, I don't know, bro. I felt like Hobbs was gonna be our certified slot, and I felt like Mullins was gonna be like a number 2 guy. But whatever the case may be, I mean, he's gone now, so it's water under the bridge.
All right, let's do this. We got a game Sunday, fellas. We got a game, man. We got actually real Raider football about to take place Sunday, man. So let's do this. Let's give I need everyone's predictions in the comments section, man. Shout out to my brother NorCal Raider Jesse real quick too. If you guys want to go get the merch, Oaklosvegas.com. And shout out to Jesse, man. He had a Oaklasvegas birthday cake for his birthday, man, for his 40th.
Oh my dog.
Shout out to NorCal, bro.
That shit was tight.
What, I gotta show that shit real quick.
That shit was tight as fuck, bro.
That made me realize, bro, like just, man, I love this shit anyways. But the way, man, bro, look at this shit.
That shit was fire. So I ain't gonna lie, I reposted that shit in the whole shit. Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you, Jesse.
Happy belated birthday, my brother. Real talk, man. Oaklosvegas.com, you guys. But yeah, let's get it in. We got 31-16 Sergio, 34-17 Reap. Bobby got it 35-21. Damn, so everybody's saying that we about to run away with this shit. Terry Nelson, I agree with you on that. 28-24. That's more along the lines of where I am. Our brother Leo says, I'll bring it right back up. Hold on. Leo got it 30-21. Okay, I can run with that. It's you know, it's a little more realistic. Kyle Holt got it 31-28. More along the lines of what I was talking about. Dougie 24-10. I don't see the Chargers only scoring 10 points. 34-28. Raider Fanatic. I'm here for it. Boosting with East says a close one. I agree. Raider for life, 38-24. Holy shit. Caden, 30-28. Okay.
Somebody said 100-0. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Shout out to Eddie. Aunt says, Docs, B and B. JC was getting burnt in practice by the 7th round wide receiver. What do you think the best wide receiver in the league is going to do? He's going to eat 156 yards, 2 TDs for Adam.
I would love to see something like that. Bro. I would love to see something like that.
What's your score, man? Little bro.
Well, you know, going back to this, like you and I did our like when the schedules first came out. We did a win-loss record. And
we flipped it. Remember we flipped it?
We flipped it at the end. So originally when we were doing this game, I originally had us taking the L.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not trying to kill everybody's fuck.
No, bro, me too.
Comment section. Everybody wants to smoke my boots. Go ahead.
Welcome.
I still think that we split games with them, whether that be this game or whether that be the game in the middle of the season. Don't get me wrong. If we sweep them, I love it. I love it. But at the same time, I went down to LA last year when we were 3-0 and they were 3-0. The shit broke my heart. I was not even did it break my heart. I was hot leaving there.
28-14.
This team is like, they're not like their team, especially with them picking up Khalil Mack and them having a healthy Derwin James that just signed a contract.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether JC Jackson's out or not, they got a squad.
I just took the words. I was literally going to say this next. There's no film on our offense or defense. The Chargers have no idea what to prepare for. We have a whole year of film. We've been very quiet, bro. We've been moving under the radar all offseason. We haven't really seen nothing. You haven't seen shit. You know what I mean?
So all I'm saying is, and I guess I can lead into this because you and I were talking about this. You guys got to beware. And there's the biggest thing that we got to beware of.
Hold on. That is B segment moving forward, you guys. Beware. So when Planet Raiders hits
us as a team, what we got to beware for this week 1 matchup against the Chargers is our offensive tackles against their defensive end. Period. They got Bosa. They got Khalil Mack.
Yep.
They're in for a tough. They got their fucking work cut out for them. That's all I'm going to say. So that's
hold on. Let me read this line because I know Vital put this up. I got to say this, you guys. They have Storm Norton starting at right tackle. They have Zion Johnson, big guard out of Boston College. He's fire. They got to steal with him. Center Corey Lindsley, he's dope. Matt Failure at left guard, and Rashawn Slater, which he's going to be an all-pro. That offensive line is stacked. It's stacked.
Going back to the Chargers, right? What they need to beware for, not that we care about them, but at the end of the day, they got to beware of our wide receiver and our offensive weapons and their secondary against their secondary. They have Derwin James, but I feel like outside of Derwin James and Jackson, they got a lot of question marks in their secondary.
Well, hold on real quick. They're saying that he's not the starting right tackle. Who is this? Is it Trey Pipkins? Because right now, their starting depth chart, right now, I'm looking at it right now. It says Storm Norton is starting at right tackle. So who's their starting right tackle right now, you guys? Because it says Pipkins is backing up Storm Norton. And Storm is not a rookie. He's been in the league for a while. Connor, I'm looking at it right now, brother. I don't know. I'm dead ass looking at their depth chart right now on ESPN. It says that Storm Norton is starting. But hey, you could be right. I don't know. But it says that he's backing up.
Bro, I'm about to use the restroom, bro. I'll be right back.
Do your thing. Yep. Shout out to Stevie, man. Herbert threw 3 TDs against the Giants last year. Herbert had a QB rating of 133.1. Raiders 41, Chargers 35. I like that, Stevie. Shout out to you, man. I like that. I'm more along the lines of that. I'm going to go 35-28 Raiders. 35-28 Raiders. 35-28 Raiders. Is it Pipkins? Because I'm looking at it right now. It says Pipkins is starting. I mean, that Storm is starting. Let me see. See, everybody's saying Pipkins, but all right, look at this, y'all. Let me show y'all real quick. Hold on. Let me share this real quick. So y'all don't think I'm fucking crazy. Because I didn't think Storm Norton was starting for them either, but right now, that's what it says. Shit. Boom. Look, right here. Storm Norton. Trey Pipkins III backing him up. So that's what I see. I see it on the screen, you guys. Shout out to the 500 plus people in the chat. Wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. But either way, if Pipkins starts at right tackle, then cool. They got a rookie right tackle. I like him though. I think he got some game. Shout out to Bobby, man. Fuck the Chargers. We're taking that game coming Sunday. Talk that shit, V. Talk that shit.
Yo, I'm back.
Dick Vitale said I watched the Chargers live show and they said that he was starting and Pipkins to start. Okay, well,
are y'all still talking about the right tackle situation for the Chargers?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Look, Vitale, you my brother. I'm gonna go with what you're saying because I don't know why Storm Norton was started right tackle anyway, but I'm just going off what ESPN said. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Bobby V as always, man. Shout out to Raider Nomad. Our running game will be the difference, 27-24. I said 35-28. Shout out to Raider Nomad. I appreciate you.
Let's not forget that they got Austin Eckler. Let's not forget about them.
My brother.
Yo.
What's good with y'all, man?
Yo, my brother. Salutations, my brother.
Damn, man.
What's popping, bro? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I fucking fell asleep. I woke up and I heard you in my ear. I'm like, what the fuck? And I see y'all up here.
It's all good. Shout out to our brother Wasted, man. We just breaking down this game. We talked about the depth chart. We're giving our predictions right now. I got 35-28 Raiders.
Wait, I was gonna say, Wasted. Do you remember when we were doing? Do you remember when the schedule?
You and I both said it was going to take that L the first game of the season.
Right. And this is my thing, bro. I'm not trying to shit on the whole parade. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, like me going out to LA last year and seeing us take that L when we were 3-0 and they were 3-0, it left a horrible taste in my mouth. And I'm to the point where it's like this: Raiders, prove it to me. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Fact,
you know what I mean? Prove me the fuck wrong. And you know the Chargers are gonna have a chip on their shoulder because we sent them home packing at the end of the fucking
in embarrassing fashion.
In embarrassing fashion with the field goal in overtime.
They were a timeout, a non-timeout.
No. It was at the very end of regulation, right? It wasn't in overtime. It was the very end of regulation, right?
No, it was OT.
It was OT, right? But it was at the end of OT, right?
Yes.
Hold on, you remember this picture?
Yep.
Loved it. Yo, you know the thing that I'm really, really concerned about with this game. You know, I'm concerned about thunderstorms and them having delays again. Because they say that it's called for thunderstorms. You got extreme inclement weather out there.
Right.
And, you know, it doesn't really rain a lot in Southern California. But
you know what's, I don't mean to interrupt you. I was there at the game.
No, you definitely meant to do that shit.
No. You know what was so weird about that shit last year? Because me and my
bro was there too, right?
Bro was there too, but it was me and my cousin sitting next to each other, right? And I felt like a lot of the fans were a lot of Raider fans, and we were like all the Raider fans were like hyped.
Yeah. Like
right before the game started. And then all of a sudden it was just weird, bro. It was just weird. And it was like, we're delaying the game due to thunderstorms. And like, you got to realize it's an inside-outside stadium, right? Where like you can still, like from where I was sitting, you could still see outside, but it's still covered by the dome. Like it's hard for me to explain.
No, I totally understand what you mean. You're not
like
rain doing.
But like, bro, I felt like there was like some type of energy or some type of like Raiders energy, like Raiders momentum kind of going on. And I felt like,
they pulled the Baltimore Ravens and Niners Super Bowl act.
Type shit. Like that's, I swear, bro. Like I swear that's exactly how it felt, bro. I don't know any other way to describe it, bro. But I was just like, bro, this is suspect as fuck, bro. Like this is suspect.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of try to like put a pin in the pin cushion, right? But you know, when we talk about them winning this game, the one point that somebody brought up on my show, and I heard somebody just bring this up, is the fact that they don't really have a whole lot of game tape on us. Now the key to this game is Jermaine Aluminor. Can Jermaine Aluminor hold his side of the line down? Because I know that Colton Miller, if he's going against Bosa, he does pretty well against Bosa. He hasn't done the greatest against Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
The thing is that if we can have a situation where
they're going to move them around, Wasted. You know they're going to move them around.
Bro, yeah, think about this. Think about this. Think about it. If you're Khalil Mack, you're talking to your defensive coordinator and you're telling him, "Hey, I went heads up with this guy in practice plenty of times when I was with the Raiders. Put me on that side. I want to be on that side because I'm gonna throw Colton Miller around." If you got the confidence like that.
Well, you know Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, they move them around, right? But the thing is Colton Miller's not the same guy he went against in practice. Since Richie Incognito's got a piece of him, he's a different player than he is.
But it's like this. It's like, okay, I follow MMA, right? It's a situation where you've had two fighters who have sparred together in the past. Okay. And then there becomes a mental thing between the two of them, where when one dude beats up on the other dude enough, and even though they haven't fought professionally yet, and they're just sparring between the two of them, that it becomes a mental game at that point, and at that aspect. And so all I'm saying is, if I'm Khalil Mack and I know that I can be dominant against this guy because
so when Colton was drafted, Mack was gone. I thought that they had a year together.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
They did. So the thing is that
I'm tripping. Well, then I'm tripping.
But you're not far off.
Was it the same year that we sent him? Did we send Khalil Mack away that year?
Was that 2018?
Yeah,
they didn't have 1 year together. Are you sure about that?
No, they didn't.
No, wait, hold on. Wait. Let's go to the videotape. Colton Miller.
I think when we drafted him, Khalil didn't see it down.
If that's the case, then I'm tripping. Then I'll admit that I'm tripping right now. But all I'm saying,
it's a fact, Sean. They had a training camp together, but they didn't get to.
They didn't hit the pads or nothing like that together.
He was traded the year he was drafted.
Got you.
Yeah, it was 2018. Yeah, so he didn't.
All right. Well then, I'm not even going to continue to rant. That's just making me look bad now at this point.
But that was a great argument, though. I knew where you were going with it.
Yeah,
you were wrong as fuck, but I mean, hey, it's all good.
Yeah, but look. At the end of the day, I think the reason why this is going to be a little different than what we thought it was is because of the running game caveat. I think that they're going to predicate and they're going to have the offense really, really, really be ran off of the running game. And I think that's going to neutralize a lot of their pass rush momentum. And for that particular reason, if the game goes down to the end of the game and it's a close game, when the money's on the table, I got my money on Derek Carr. I really do. Justin Herbert has never exhibited the propensity or the ability to win a big game. Even when he was at Oregon, he always lost the big game. And in the national football game, he's always lost the big game. He's a front runner. When it comes time for that one throw to be made or that one play to be made, I don't know if he's going to make it. And I don't know if that coach is the guy that's going to make it. And that's the reason why, really, to be honest with you, everybody's worried about the Chargers because of their roster. From 1 to 53, they have the best roster in football. There's no two ways around that. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you something.
They were like the fucking Eagles a few years back that on paper.
Dream team.
Dream team.
The Chip Kelly destroyed.
Yeah. Yep. And then it was like a shit show.
As the backup and all of that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this is a little more substance to this team than that team. Because that team was a free agency put together team. But I'm gonna be quite real with you. The Chiefs are who I'm most worried about in this division.
They're the Chiefs.
Naturally. Yeah.
They got the best quarterback in the division. They have the best coach in the division.
Yeah.
And when best quarterback, best coach combination normally wins.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean, you can.
Well, hold on. Let's say that.
I was gonna say the
pump the brakes because
I was gonna say the coaching situation is debatable now.
Give Josh McDaniels a year. Let's see what he can do.
That's what I'm like.
No, but Wasted ain't wrong though. He ain't wrong up to this point.
This point in their careers, at the end of the day, Andy Reid's been a head coach for X amount of years. I don't even know how many, but I know it's been a long time.
20 years, bro.
You can't argue with that. But I'm just saying that Josh, it's debatable in the sense of essentially you have Josh McDaniels' offense in New England, and then at least what was it, 3 or 4 of them Super Bowl?
He's won 6 rings as an offensive coordinator. He hasn't won shit as a head coach.
But but look at them now.
And he didn't even win all of those.
There's reports coming out that who's running? Matt Patricia's running the fucking offense over there?
Yeah.
Bro.
And they look lost and confused?
Bro.
So you tell me.
I'm
just saying, bro.
You can't take Bill Belichick's legacy, right, and flush it down the toilet just because this guy left, man. This guy's left before, and Bill Belichick kept winning, and Bill O'Brien was the offense coordinator. Let's not.
Give you that.
Let's not look. And even before Bill Belichick was a head coach with the New York Giants with Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach.
But then you could make that same argument and say that it was Bill Parcells' team and Bill. I get that he was the defensive coordinator, but at the end of the day, like,
let's do this.
Some credit where credit's due, right? You know what I mean?
We're getting let's do this. We getting off task. Let's stick to the Chargers game. I want y'all predictions real quick. B, what is the score? Final score?
I don't want to give a final. Score.
Then you here for nothing. Wasted, what you got, bro?
I got 28-21 late scoring touchdown. Carter Hunter Renfro, like your life depended on it.
I like that. I like now. B, have you changed your mind? Do you have a score?
Bro, I don't want to jinx it.
Okay. Who wins?
I don't even want to jinx that. I don't want to go there, bro. I don't.
Motherfucker, man. All right, so
I'm just saying, I went out to LA last year.
I know. You went to LA. All right, let's do this. We each get 3 MVPs for this game. Who has the big games for us? I'm gonna start. All right. Derek Carr has a huge game for us week 1. Josh Jacobs has a huge game for us week 1 with that chip on his shoulder and us not picking up that 5th-year option with this offensive line potentially being shaky. I think Josh Jacobs balls the hell out. And I think it's going to be Nate Hobbs on the defensive side of the ball. Wasted, what do you got for us?
Man, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think Max Crosby goes bananas this
game. I love it.
I think Derek Carr is definitely going to have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a surprise person that I think is going to have an excellent game, and his name is Mr. Amir Abdullah. I think Amir Abdullah is going to do well on the special teams and the things. I think he's going to do well catching the ball out of the backfield. Yep. He's going to be that little shot in the arm and that wrinkle that nobody's thinking about.
Shout out to Vital too. I appreciate you, brother. This is facts. Shout out to Steven. He says 5-1 in the AFC West. I'm hoping, brother. I hope it's 6-0. Shout out to Steven. So I got Hobbs, DC, and Jacobs. I like what Wasted said. That's a sneaky name with Amir Abdullah. What you got, B?
I got Devontae Adams.
Yeah, okay. I knew somebody was waiting for that name to come out.
I know it's easy to go there, and naturally because Devontae has a big game. Obviously, you got Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
I think that their connection is going to be. It's going to be fucking. They're going to take off like they never left. You know what I'm saying? So, I got them both having a big game, and then on the defensive side of the ball, I have Jonathan Abram.
I was going to say that was my shocker pick.
I have Jonathan Abram with a pick and tackles all over the place.
Let's go. So now that you took that name, I'm going to say this is a sneaky name for us on the defensive side of the ball, maybe Bilal Nichols. Keep an eye on Bilal Nichols. What do you think about Wasted? What do you think about Andrew Billings on this depth chart starting over Jonathan Hankins?
Well, I think because Jonathan Hankins has been hurt all offseason, and I think Jonathan Hankins is probably going to be starting by week 3. You know what I mean? Jonathan Hankins was a guy that everybody had rumored to be starting the season on IR. So if he's not starting the season on IR, it's probably strictly because of his physical condition, and then not because the fact that Billings is some beast or something like that. It's just the fact that he's hurt, man. And that's the main issue that I have with this defense, man. I just don't understand why them knowing going into this season that they have a guy that's a little long in the tooth, why them not going out there and getting somebody that you can put some more trust in.
Do you think that maybe they thought that Matthew Butler or Neil Farrell would have stepped up in preseason and been ready?
Yeah, I do, but I believe that these guys have a little bit of almost like a blind spot when it comes to the guys that they have in the building. You know what I mean? I think they're kind of overplaying their hand a little bit, and I think some of these guys that they like, and look, I know these guys have been around football a long time. I just think that Ziegler needs to kind of take a step back from this roster and say, hey, man, look, this kid is a rookie. Like I didn't want for this team to have to depend on rookies like we've had to do in years past.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I was so hyped on what they were doing. So I was like, you know what? They're going out, they're getting free agents, they're looking, and they have rookies to replace these guys going forward.
Down the line.
Yeah, but I didn't expect for Neil Thick Frame Farrell to be playing this year. I didn't expect for Butler to be playing major, snaps this year. I didn't expect.
I think it's too much. I think you and I have touched on this before, Wasted. I think it's too much to ask and too much to expect out of rookies.
Yeah, no, it's facts.
I do too, especially when the money's on the table right now. We're starting off at a detriment. The Kansas City Chiefs begin this season against the Cardinals. That's not a game that moves the needle in the AFC West. We're starting off in a situation where we could be last in the division week 1.
Overnight. Yep.
And that's why it's really, really important for us to get this dub, man. I don't think that the Chargers have the sense of urgency that we have in this building. You know what I mean? I just don't. And I'm telling y'all, man, this staff has a lot to prove. We have anointed them as one of the best staffs in football, and they've done nothing yet. And listen, it's one thing for you to be a coordinator. It's a whole nother ball of wax for you to be the man. Like Ric Flair used to say all the time. Ric Flair used to say it all the time. You know what I'm saying? When you walk that aisle, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's one thing to be the coordinator. I've seen it a lot in this league. We've all seen it a lot in this league. It's a whole nother ball of wax for you to be the man.
Well, you know what's funny is everybody on our staff is proven except for Josh McDaniels. Yeah. Patrick Graham has been proven in the league. Carmen Brasillo has been proven in the league. Ryan has been proven in the league. Well, Antonio Pierce has not been proven. He's a proven football player, but not a proven linebacker coach in the NFL.
See, I beg to differ because with Patrick Graham has not really won anything.
No, he hasn't. But what I mean is, the come on, bro.
The Pillow was only the offensive line coach for like 2 years in New England.
But he put a formidable squad together, bro. And Patrick Graham, the way he draws up his shit, the talent he had to work with the Giants was unacceptable, bro. And he still made them, it wasn't a bottom of the barrel defense. It was, I think, mid-range defense with all those injuries and all that shit. I could be wrong. They could have been worse than that. But Graham,
they have just as much talent as we have. Like Leonard Williams is no bum. That kid from
last year, the Giants dealt with several injuries, though, wasted.
True. But he was there the year previous to that, right?
Yes.
And then when he was in Miami, I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna anoint Patrick Graham like he's Buddy Ryan or something like that. Like, I have a lot of faith in him. I like what he's doing, but like, we have to pump the brakes here in Raiderland, and we got to say, hey, look, man, this man has a lot to prove. He has a lot to prove.
This is wasted, y'all. This is the wasted that just woke up. Shout out to Esteban. Hot take. Raiders have a 50-point game this season. That's not a hot take, brother. That probably is going to happen. Shout out to Esteban. Shout out to Raider for life. He's scared, Docs. If our O-line doesn't hold up, NFL needs to watch out. So you're basically saying if our O-line can hold up, the NFL needs to watch out.
You damn straight. Yeah. If the O-line holds up, brother, we're looking at some greatest show on turf kind of shit.
Facts.
Yeah.
Now, like as a play,
I was saying before you got on, Wasted, our left guard, right guard, and right tackle situations. That's our worst positions on the offense. Period.
Yeah. And that's a fact. The only thing is, guys, and look, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm just saying.
I like it, no, bro. You everything you're saying is right, though.
Yo, we gotta pump the brakes here. We have to look at this thing measured. Do we have a lot of talent? Yes. Do I personally have faith in Josh McDaniels and his staff? Yes. But we can't be going around and just discounting the fact that we got guys like Andy Reid in this division.
No, not at all. But you can't. The one thing we can't do, right? Before a down was played, I get exactly what you're saying. But this coaching staff went out and got a superstar wide receiver in Devontae Adams. They went out and got a superstar in Chandler Jones. I feel like our draft went really well with how many picks we had. We did really good with some UDFAs with Butler and Luke Masterson, even Webb. Like, I think that what they've done up to this point is everything that we could ask for. You know what I'm saying?
And that personnel wise, I have faith in that. And also there's a little serendipity that happened. You know what I mean? When you talk about Devontae Adams, this is a guy who Derek Carr was talking about when they used to go and play pickup basketball, still wearing a Raider t-shirt. This guy's born a Raider. He always wanted to be a Raider. And everyone knew that. Even Aaron Rodgers knew that. That's the reason why I already love Devontae Adams, because he's a natural born Raider. They didn't have to sell him on coming here, man. And then the relationship that Chandler Jones has with Max Crosby. I think a lot is being made of what these guys have done, and the fact that when you have guys that are Hall of Fame level players coming and telling you they want to be here, it's not a whole lot of work that needs to be done at that point. It's just all the done.
But we have to act. We can't act though like Zeke and Josh McDaniels didn't have any part. These guys come from a winning culture.
They definitely have a part in that. I know that they're not going to have Flossom and Jetsam coaching the team. We know that guys come from a winning culture. We know that they're good. What I'm saying is that just as a fan base, we have to pump the brakes here. We have to let shit happen. I think we have a tendency in sports to elevate people to levels that they haven't earned yet. Like how people used to say that LeBron James was the greatest player of all time. You're like, whoa, let this guy get finished with his career. Like, I know I'm going all over the place.
No. But what you're saying is all facts, my brother. Like, look, we all get caught in the hype because we're Raiders. Like, when we drafted Amik Robertson, I anointed him fucking pretty much Deion Sanders and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we do this. We do this year in and year out because we finally have something to be excited about, man. Right? Like this doesn't feel the same way. So we talked about this numerous times. This doesn't feel like prior years, bro. This doesn't feel like the team that we grew up watching and loving. Like, this feels different. You know what I mean? And
it definitely does. But you know what I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to be measured with this personally, and I hope it spreads to the rest of the fan base. Because if we do lose this game, this is going to be catastrophic for our psyche as fans. People are going to lose their fucking mind if we lose this game. And I'm talking, it depends on how we lose the game.
I won't either.
You're not, but B, I'm telling you, if this shit goes the wrong way, and if it's somebody, like, say for instance, it's a jailbreaker, Khalil Mack has one of them disruptive ass Khalil Mack kind of games, like a 4-sack game where he fucking makes Carr fumble and all of this shit. Then all of the atmosphere that's around this team, all of the swagger, it goes to the fucking toilet.
As long as it's not a situation that it internally crumbles. Like when we went to Washington a few years back with Jack Del Rio, when we were 2-0, and we went to Washington, and I know Jack Del Rio was making some political comments, and then all of a sudden we crumbled from the inside out. As long as we don't crumble from the inside out, I'm not tripping. Now, if we go and lose this game and the fan base starts tripping, but internally there's like is like mental fortitude coming from, you know, the top down, you know what I mean, from the front office to the coaching staff to the players, I'm not going to be worried. But
that's not going to happen. Like, look, this is what we do. I mean? We're Raiders. We're Raider fans, bro. We trip off. We're gonna act like we lost the Super Bowl.
I love your calm, cool, and collectedness, Wasted, bro. I love because I can. It's like permeating outwardly, bro. And
let me get these supers in real quick, you guys, real fast. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please hit that subscribe button. Also, Wasted's channel was all up and down the chat. Shout to shout to NorCal Jesse, my brother, man. You guys make sure you subscribe to our brother. Shout to Marvin. Maybe this game will open their eyes to see that we need to bring in Donkey. Or maybe Marvin, it opens their eyes and say we don't need him. That's what I want to happen. I hope these defensive tackles show up, and it's fuck all that. We don't have to spend $9 million on Sue. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm hoping happens is these defensive tackles show up. Bilal Nichols lives up to the hype coming over from Chicago. Andrew Billings is living up to this hype that these guys are giving them, and we don't have to worry about it. Shout out to Ghost Sniper, man. Dox B Wasted. I think Josh is going to have run game set the tone exactly, along with our defense laying down the charges. I think Raiders keep Justin Herbert on the sideline and slow them down. 35-24 Raiders win. Shout out to my dog Gaming. Appreciate you, brother, on the $20 super. And what you said was factory. This is what we're going to do. Control the pace of the game. Control the time. You know what I mean? Keep their best weapon off the field. And that's Justin Herbert. Look, if we can control the clock, it's a wrap.
That is something that Wasted said earlier that I definitely agreed with. If we can dominate in our run game, control time of possession, and play at least decent defense, and when we do need to throw, maybe have 3-step drops to where our offensive line doesn't have to hold these guys for 5- and 7-step drops, we're going to be way better off. You know what I mean? Because at that point, we're taking the pressure off of the offensive line, and we're putting it. I mean, obviously they have to, run block too, but I'm just saying if we can control, time of possession, put the ball into Josh Jacobs' hands, have him get a 100-yard game, and play decent defense, we're gonna win the game.
Yeah, because if you don't have a situation where we're behind and the defense can't pin their ears back, like when you're behind, that that we have to throw. That car's got to drop back and throw that ball down the field. If we're in a situation where we can keep them guessing throughout the third quarter, we could control the football game. So with those screens that Josh McDaniels is a master of those screens, getting
and the screens are almost like running plays to a certain degree.
Hey, but one thing we can't have happen, like we in week 1 last year against Baltimore, we can't have DC target Devontae Adams 19 times like he did Waller. Like we have to spread the ball around. We have, what I mean? Like I know that, Gabe even said it. Like Josh McDaniels is going to scheme Waller into this game. He loves his tight ends, and Waller's just a phenomenal athlete. He needs to get some burn. But I don't want this to be a coming out DC Devontae Adams party where it's like everything is just forced to Adams. And I think DC's smart enough to not do that. I'm not saying, that he would, but we can't allow that because last year, week 1, bro, we threw the ball to Waller 19 times in 1 week. Like that, I think it was like 19 times, I believe. That's insane, bro. Like that we can't do that. We, like you said,
weakness. That was the reason why. That was what was open. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was what was open. With this situation now, man. Like you're gonna have him with a lot of underneath stuff to people that we're not even thinking about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's the beauty of having Devontae Adams. Adams, if you're gonna bracket any guy that's on this roster, it's gonna be him all the time.
Yeah,
right? And so it might turn out into a situation when we do have to target, Darren Wilder, because I know everybody's thinking that Derwin James can stick Darren Wilder straight up. Physically, he can, but coverage wise, he can't.
Real quick, I like what Emmanuel said. This is wasted in a nutshell, and this is us in a nutshell. Emmanuel said, "Wasted is guarding his heart because as Raider fans, we have been let down and disappointed many times over. They got a lot to prove to get these flowers. This is facts."
And that's why I didn't want to give my predictions on score. That's why I didn't want to say who's going to win or who's going to lose. Do I think that the Raiders can win this game? Yes, I do. But at the end of the day, I don't even – it's like prove it. Yeah. Prove it.
Yeah. Shout out to Rube. DC and McDaniels have so much to prove this season. Every win or loss is going to be blown out of proportion and out of them two on both of those two shoulders. This is facts.
Yeah.
Facts. It's definite, man, because – Josh McDaniels came from such a successful program that is always going to follow him around. But then there's also going to be those Denver days that are going to haunt him. You know what I mean? So
still bringing that shit up. It's been 13 years since he was the coach of the damn Broncos. Yep. 13 years this year. Stephen A. Smith brought that shit up today.
Yes.
So what happens is, man, it's like it's not just perception and reality. It's the fact that the media are a bunch of brain dead morons. You got people who 1 week we make a move and then the consensus is that we're going to the Super Bowl. So everybody was picking us.
Yes.
Everybody and their mother. The Raiders, watch out, sneaky pick. Now on a drop of a fucking dime. Now everybody's saying it's doom and gloom and we're going to finish last.
Bro, we know how this goes. Because now technically we're in the media, right? So we know how this shit works. Because there's other guys that even cover the Raiders on YouTube that do the same shit. They just feed off of, whatever the fuck is out there, and they, this is this and this is this and that. Like, bro, like we know this year in and year out. When we're winning, they try to give us our flowers, and then one L when it's they're done. They're fucking done because they know how we are. We're so passionate about our team that like they know that we're gonna click. because even me, if I say right now, I'll never fuck with ESPN again in my life, and I see something online, and it's about the Raiders, I'm clicking that shit.
But that's why we need playing the Raiders, though.
There you go. Yeah. Playing the Raiders on the way.
That's why we need playing the Raiders, bro.
It pisses me off because you see guys like these guys that are making all of this money, but like really, to be honest with you, it almost helps them if the Raiders are doing bad because they have something to talk about. You have some places like Dallas, right? Nobody really calls out the Dallas Cowboys because it doesn't move the needle for you financially because they are the most, look, we're probably like a close third or fourth, but the Dallas Cowboys are probably the most like ravenous fan base that there is in professional sports, to the point where they're still the number one ticket in the National Football League, and they haven't won since B was in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be fair. They haven't won shit. Like every year, nobody dogs the owner out for meddling. Nobody. Everybody just shuts up because they know that if you criticize the Cowboys on national TV, you will become a pariah. The only person that does it is Stephen A, because he feeds off it. He's a heel. Everyone else in the media kisses the Cowboys' asses, and nobody gets called out for it. And nobody gets called out for their bias on the Raiders. And my thing is, I just want this year, I want us to shove it up the media's ass. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people dogging our team out.
This is the thing, bro. I think at the end of the day,
Wasted is coming with the fucking heat, people. Talk that shit.
I think that if the Raiders start winning, it's actually good for the NFL.
No, it is.
I think it's good for business. I think it's good for the NFL. Like, it's just
but even more now with us being in Vegas and Mark Davis being worth more money, like now, and then you got all these stars. It's definitely
good. It's good for the NFL for the Raiders to win, bro. That's
but this is the thing. I don't want to just be.
But it's not for the media. My bad. My bad.
No. You good? The thing is this. I don't want to be just good enough to get to a playoff, and that's cool. Like the Raiders are winning there. No, bro. Like we need to get back in that rare form where we need some shit.
I think we all talked about this before. Like, if you're not at least winning one playoff game, this is a failure.
Facts.
And really, like, how I look at it is like we should be going at least to the AFC Championship. Like, that's where my expectations are. Like, obviously everybody wants to win a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
But it's like if you're not at minimum taking this playoff team to win at least a wild card and going into the divisional, and or exceeding expectations and going into the AFC Championship game, this season was a failure.
Yeah,
no,
the basement is winning a playoff game.
That's it. I've been saying that you got to get DC has to have a playoff win under his belt. The end. That's it. You know what I mean? Period. Point. Because
that narrative dies now. It's all about killing narratives this year, man. Yeah. Oh, the Raiders are a haphazard organization. They don't know what they're doing. They're laughing stock of the National Football League. But we got Josh McDaniels. That's done.
But Wasted, there's so many narratives now. It's not just the DC thing, right? There's so many. It's the Josh McDaniels. Can he do it by himself? It's the Devontae's been this close year in and year out. Can he get it done? There's so many different narratives around us now. It's not just Derek Carr. You know what I mean? There's so many more that it's like everybody's like, we gotta get this done because we're not doing it for Carr. We're doing it for Carr. We're doing it for Devontae. We're doing it for Chandler Jones, who's year in and year out been making it to the playoffs with teams. And I know he's been to a ships with New England, but it's been a while since he's won something, right? Like a lot of these guys, there's so many different narratives revolving around our entire roster. Mm-hmm. It's this O-line. Do you think that they don't want to come out and say, fuck everybody? We're about to ball out and protect the quarterback. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like real shit. That there's so many narratives across the board. It's Max. I got all this money now. People think, oh, can he live up to the hype? There's everything, bro. Like I've been on Chandler Jones. He can't play the run as well as he used to. You don't think that he hears that narrative? He's like, shit. I'm gonna get out here and ball out. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, I just hope that these guys hear everything and they take it all personal. Yeah. This is how life is. I always tell Wasted this. We talk like 4 hours a day on the phone, and I tell him I take everything personal. Like that helps me win. I take everything personal
because it adds fuel to the fire.
Yes,
I always have had to feel like there's somebody.
But there's two types of
out on me. Same way. We're all similar like that. You always got to have that chip on your shoulders
100%.
To propel you to your greatest heights, right?
Yeah.
For me, when I'm looking at what's happening this year, bro. It's just beyond the bullshit though. This energy that's around this team and the doubts equate to everything for this team, bro. If they don't win right off the bat, they're gonna lose Las Vegas. We talk about this all the time, man.
You have to win.
You have to fucking win. The only reason why the Golden Knights did well is they went to the Stanley Cup Finals the first year they were in Las Vegas. The Aces
The Aces are playing in the playoffs tonight, right now. Like, you don't think that Vegas sees that and they're like, if these guys don't do what they're doing, we don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like facts, bro. Like Vegas wants winners.
This is the thing, though.
And we don't want Mark Davis to lose this team, because if Mark Davis loses this team, all bets are off for the way that this team is run, the Raider image, everything. They're already trying to price us out of the stadiums, right? That's why, like, DOX ENT has been so important for Raider Nation, right? I'm going to give you your flowers, right? Because without DOX ENT, you don't have probably 65% of the content creators that are out there right now. Everybody says that we have the best content creators in the National Football League, to the point where we have people in our chats every day who don't like the Raiders or anybody in the AFC West, and they watch us. Just to think about that. I got guys that from the Titans, the Panthers, fucking the Washington Redskins, all kinds of people that come in our chats, and they don't even be wanting any smoke. They just come in here because they want to hear some good football talk and good content creators. Nobody has the myriad of guys that we have. And 65% of them is because Docs gave them a voice and they were able to build their platforms off of that. And I'm one of those people, right? So what y'all got to realize is the reason why YouTube is so important now is because a lot of us can't afford to fucking go to these games, bro. Yeah, I could string the money together to go to a game, right? But that shit is a fucking decision a lot of people got to make. Like to sit in the screechers in Adelanto Stadium. Yo, to sit in the stadium, to sit in the screechers, what is it? $600?
Yeah.
$600, right? So this pretty much is the black hole. Yeah. This is Raider Nation right here on the ground. This shit is important that we keep this shit moving, bro, because I'm telling you, if Mark Davis don't have his team, they're gonna rebrand the Raiders in a way that's gonna turn a lot of us off.
Bert, I appreciate you, brother, and I agree with everything you said. Wasted is right, but NFL people who do this for a living think this is high quality staff and are doing everything right. Josh is still highly rated. Shout out to Big Mike as well. That's it. Wasted. I'm running through a fucking brick wall right now, and I added the F-bomb from my Planet Raiders brother, man. Shout out to my dog. He said Doc's bobblehead night coming soon. He's stupid, bro. He's stupid. Shout out to everybody here in the building. And Watts, bro, look, man. Vegas, bro. Vegas. I'm not talking about the people that live in Vegas. I don't mean that we have to have the people that live in actually Las Vegas support the Raiders. We all know as Raider fans our whole life, we travel well. But it's about money, bro. It's about revenue. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not winning, you're not making any money. You're not making the money that you're supposed to make. And at that point, Vegas takes that personal because everything's about pockets in Vegas. Period, point blank, the end. If you're not making money, Vegas is not going to give a shit about you. Yeah, we'll be in Vegas for the rest of our life. That's great. But either way, if you're not making money, Vegas does not want nothing to do with that shit.
But will they? Right? Because that's a transient town. It's like a fucking NFL Europe game when you go to them games, right? And not for nothing, but let me just say this real quick. Yo, what I mean by rebranding the Raiders is we the Renegades, right? We the Outlaws. They're trying to take the soul out of the Raider fan base. They selling these tickets to people that work in fucking they work in offices, people who don't even really love the team, bro. That's what I mean. I'm not talking about rebranding them and taking the shield away from us and everything. I'm talking about taking the heart out of the fan base. A lot of people can't afford to sit there. They're already not like really allowing, they're not really fucking with the black hole like that. They're already trying to push people like Gorilla. And push and violate them. They trying to do that right now. So they're trying to homogenize the Raiders, y'all.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man, a couple things. One is if we lose this first game and we win the next 4 or 5 games, I don't think that it has a detriment to the swagger and everything else. Do I want us to win? Of course I do. But
why are we so? But I'm trying to figure out. Why are we?
But going back to what's
around if we lose this game, though, I don't understand why we keep talking about if we lose. Like we're trying to set up.
No, because it was something that Wasted had brought up. It was something that Wasted had brought up. It will like deflate us as an organization or as a fan base and as a team and shit like that. But like that's the thing. Like everybody's getting caught up in the hype, but it's like, bro, at the end of the day, bro, like like we're gonna have some games that we lose. Like we're not gonna win every single fucking game. So even if we like lose a fucking game, it shouldn't be the end of the world, right? It should be one of those things that builds more fucking stature and gives you a little bit of grit and fucking and you go out and you push harder to win. You know what I mean? And kind of going back to what you were saying, Wasted, about having a chip on your shoulder and having that fuel to the fire. There's two different types of people in this world, bro. There's people who thrive on that shit and who love that shit and who use it as fuel to their fire. And on the flip side of it, there's people who are the complete opposite, who can't handle what outside noise and can't handle, people talking shit about them and can't handle for whatever the reason may be. So it could be helpful to some people and add fuel to some people's fire, but at the end of the day, some people don't like that shit, and some people need to cancel out the outside noise, focus within themselves, and do what they need to do to win internally. Because at the end of the day, every victory is won internally first, and then externally. Period.
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying about the culture and shit like that. I actually had a personal conversation with
I know.
That is pretty much what I'm saying. Thank you, Frank.
with somebody who's very well known in the Raider Nation for a lot of years, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say who specifically, but yes, they are Vegas, and I'm not going to say who else is trying to commercialize the Raiders and get rid of that culture, and it's sad, and I hate to see that shit, because at the end of the day, us as a fan base, the reason why I say we have to
hold on, real quick. Let me ask you this, and I want the chat to answer this. Are we willing to sacrifice the faces, right? Like the violators, the all that stuff. Our culture has changed. It definitely has. But these guys are critical to what we do. The violators, the guerrilla realists, these guys.
I'm already gonna say no.
No. But listen. Are you willing to sacrifice that? And I know you guys' answer, so I'm not even gonna. But for some dubs, right? Like if this is what it is, they're trying to commercialize. They're trying to make this more family oriented. These are the words that we've heard when we've spoken to other people behind the scenes.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So is it worth it to lose the pulse of what we were and what we are?
No.
In order to
transform
in Vegas.
Us as a fan base, we are the Raiders.
There you go.
This is what you got to realize. Like, let's just be real about shit. We've sucked for the last 20 fucking years. And who has supported the Raiders?
Us.
The culture, the fan base. You get rid of that shit just because you're in a new city and you're trying to rebrand the image and all that shit. It's out to me all the way. It's done. It's almost disrespectful to the culture, to the fan base, to everybody who's supported you through the last 20 years. It's a slap in the face, bro. It's a slap in the face. So
point blank period.
And it should be.
I asked that question right because of the conversation that was had in Adelanto, and also because
I had personally,
yes, and I no, but thing is though, I'm very close with, and I've had conversations with him before as well.
Yeah,
but I'll say this: I see a lot of stuff on the internet. I see everything. I watch everything Raider related. Point blank period.
I took it as a shot to us as well.
No, me too, because it's about the shield. It's about the shield, bro. At the end of the day, it's about the shield.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, us being independent and us pushing out the content that we do on YouTube and us being the people that we are, entrepreneurial and making our own bag and getting to our own bag and not getting checks from the NFL and or any organization that's under the NFL umbrella. Like, I took that as a personal hit to us.
Definitely.
Because at the end of the day, like, we're a free speech and we speak our mind. We're not on no corporate shit. Like, we are just saying what we feel is right, and we are like the nation's voice. So it's like when I'm hearing this type of shit from people who have had so much loyalty and had so much to do with the culture and shit, and we're up and coming. We're like the new faces of this shit. I took it as a personal hit to us because if they're doing that to the OGs, and we're up and coming and we're just getting started, what do you think that they're going to do to us when we get to?
Well, the difference is
you tell me.
The difference is this. We're in the internet era. You can't do nothing. Like, we're going to do whatever we do regardless. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, nobody can stop what we got going on because the post is the post. I stand on that. Like, I feel like all of us, what we do on here, right? And the beat writers as well, you guys. This is no shade to anyone. This is to everyone that keeps the Raiders in their mouth every day. It's the post. And without that, you know what I mean? We're nothing.
No team could have been able to withstand the betrayal. Not the betrayal, but just from a logistical standpoint. This team in my lifetime has moved from Oakland to Los Angeles, back to Oakland, out of Oakland to Las Vegas.
Definitely.
This team has moved. What does that make? 3 or 4 times?
Yeah. 1, 2, like 3 times at least.
This team has moved 3 fucking times in a space of 30 years. Let me tell you something, man. No other fan base will be able to survive that.
None. It wasted, and that was the best way to end that whole. That's it. No, because you know why? We're not fans. We're Raiders.
This goes beyond the love of a football team. It's way beyond it. You will see more Raider tattoos. See, the Cowboys have a bigger fan base. We have the most passionate and dedicated fan base.
Yeah.
So this is what we're a part of. We're a part of almost like a brotherhood. It's almost a brotherhood. It is a brotherhood. There's been places that we've all been collective. It's like you go there, man, and people accept you just because you are a Raider fan.
Family. It's a family.
Bro. It's so family. I don't want them to kill that spirit because that is the spirit of this team that I fell in love with.
Yes, definitely. Let me get these supers in real quick. That was phenomenal work right there, gentlemen. Like, real shit. I know the nation needs to hear that because a lot of us that grew up in Northern California, right, we took a lot of those moves personal. You know what I'm saying? I know I did. I took it personal as shit because I grew up in Oakland Coliseum. I grew up in those lots. You know what I mean? Running around from getting plate to plate and beer to beer and drink to drink. So I took that very personal. So that was summed up greatly, man. Shout out to Cujo. Agree. Thanks for the content. Diverse, funny, knowledgeable, and faithful. The price of games are horrible for them to put out subpar product. It's frustrating. Too many years of crap product. This is facts, Cujo. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to Aunt. Amazing show, Docs Wasted. Vince Carter, a.k.a. Slam Dunk Champion. Be the GOAT. Beware segment is coming. Love you guys. I'm out. Party all the time. Shout out to my dog, Aunt. We about to get out of here too. I know that Wasted got to work tomorrow. We've been on for an hour and a half, and right now, this conversation can keep me going all night. So I'm gonna stop right now before we do too much. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to you weirdo ass Charger fans in the chat too. We can't stand you, motherfuckers. We'll see y'all Sunday. Until then, you guys, make sure you hit that sub button. Please, man, we're on our way to 17K. Also, hit that sub button on Wasted channel. Raider Nation Unlimited.
Oh, can I say this real quick? Yo, I am less. What am I? I am 170 subs away from 5,000. I have a personal goal to get to 5,000 subscriptions before the season. Whoever's not subscribed to me, please run it up for your boy. And if you got anybody in the chat who's a moderator, please put the link to my channel in there so I can get to 5K. I need it, y'all. I need it like yesterday.
Kenna, I haven't seen what you've been putting in the chat, my brother. You got to realize we've had 600 plus people here pretty much the whole time, so it's difficult to keep up with everything. You know what I mean? But next go round, I didn't see what you said, but I'll definitely try my hardest to keep an eye out on what you was talking about. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Even shout out for Winning Tennis's weird ass. He's saying, you know, his Chargers are going to dog walk us. We're definitely walking in the SoFi, smoking y'all boots. With that being said, you guys, we'll be back shortly. I got to get ready, man, and start getting my shit together for getting out to Vegas because it's going to be a movie. And
anybody that's out in Vegas that wants to tap in, bro, tap in with me, Nation. I'm out here full time.
And once again, this is what Q always does. He knows we're about to sign out, and he throws $5 in so we don't get out of here. So y'all seen them corny ass Steelers talking about they're gonna celebrate that immaculate bull and retire Franco number when we play them. I haven't, but fuck them. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Shout out to Q. I love Q to death. He a funny motherfucker. He does this shit every show. Shout out to my dog Q, man. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys, man. We outro. One.
Peace.